All right, we're on. Hey guys, Alf Benny here. Thanks for coming. I got Leica today, the lovely Leica. Civil rights leaders.
So that happened, and there was much rejoicing and happiness.
I'm in the mood to chat, continue drinking, and doing other degenerate behavior.
Let me tell you what I've done to handle the stalker problem. I have liberally, and I liberally use the block button. Oh, hi! Welcome to another ATeam video. We got Aimee and Jaymee and Krissy and Alfie and Kris. And today we are gonna talk about Lauren Southern's video on what happened with Tommy Robinson being sent to prison. Say hello, everybody!
Hello!
Hi.
Hello!
Yo. Yo.
Hey!
Yo.
Hi!
I hope we're all right. Let's get
wow.
the party started.
So we got a little more information on Tommy Robinson now, and it appears that he is serving 13 months now.
Oh, okay.
So that seems kind of off. So I guess he's gonna have to try that, take that to court and see if he gets that.
Yeah, but I think that's going to be just part of the process. I think that they just gave him the maximum sentence, and it will get appealed. So that's what I assume is going to happen.
And also the other information is the fact that it turns out there was actually a media block on reporting on Tommy Robinson's conviction. But that has been appealed.
Yeah, no, but we knew that anyway. We knew that on like Saturday. But I remember having.
To be honest, I've been out of the loop on all this.
I'm sure it was you I was having a conversation with. We said that by Tuesday there won't be any more because the bank.
Oh yeah, but we was just speculating then. We weren't sure.
Oh, I was pretty sure.
Yeah.
Hey, Mr. Know-It-All. All right, so let's get in on this. Just let me know when you want
get
me to
this
talk.
Canadian bitch going.
That's this funny movement with her mouth when.
It was like me. What did I do? And then I forgot she's Canadian.
Yeah. See.
Hey guys, okay, so I'm just gonna give this stream a second for people to join it, but obviously based on the title, I'm pretty sure you know what's going on.
Hello, Berkeley.
But let me just share this, get a few people to join.
No, don't do that. Should I skip forward a little bit?
Nah, let it play. Let's hear it. Let's hear it.
And then immediately after, taken to court and sent to jail. And a lot of this information I received secondhand. Obviously, I'm banned from the UK because of its crazy authoritarian government.
Oh my god!
Just that alone, the crazy authoritarian government. Isn't that nuts?
So can I just say this? So you know how Lauren Southern is all about like being careful about who you let into the country, and like she disagrees with the rules only when she gets in trouble with the rules that she agrees with, which is pretty retarded in my opinion. Didn't she fuck around on the forms? It's like you have to take it seriously.
Or in this case, when her friends do. So it's all right for her. Right. It's all right for her friends, but apparently it's not all right for anybody else.
Right.
I mean, in the end, she is kind of a shit stirrer, right? Didn't she? Wasn't that thing that happened where she was like shooting flares in Italy or something like that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like, who goes to another country and does something like that? That's ridiculous, you know. And then expect to be able to go in easily to other countries. Like they see that a country's going to see that and be like, well, you know, this person's causing trouble in other countries. You know?
Well, plus, when she tried to, I mean, she gleefully admitted that when she tried to get access to the UK, that she lied to them and told everyone she was Pakistani or something like that.
Yeah,
and I think her rationale for that was, well, you can't get arrested for that. It's like, yeah, you can't get arrested for it, but they can just not let you in the country, you silly bitch.
Yeah, I don't think people, like, when you're coming into a country, they don't take that kind of stuff lightly. You know, that you're gonna fucking lie on the
why would you fuck about like that? I don't understand.
That's dumb. And then she's going to say it's because they have an authoritarian government. Like, no, it's because you lied on the forms. And on top of other things as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's continue on.
Today, but a few people that were there gave me the details. I can't say who, because unfortunately there is also a reporting ban on this. If anyone talks about it, or even people retweet me, they could be arrested themselves if they talk about Tommy's situation, and they were in the UK and certainly in that courtroom. But what happened essentially is Tommy went to go report on a rape gang case, and there was also a order of silence not to talk about it. Of course, I'm not a legal expert, so I'm just doing it in the most basic terms here. Tommy went there and he read out some reports that were already public, that were already in the paper, and then the police arrested him for disturbance of the peace. They took him to court, and then the judge sentenced him to jail for 13 months, over a year, because he talked about a rape gang case and gave information that was already publicly available. In fact,
well, I heard something different. I don't know if it's true or not, but I heard that that the main thing was that he recorded the people as they were going into the court.
Mm-hmm.
And since there was a media ban on that trial, he's basically showing the people that are in the trial who are supposed to remain anonymous until the trial's over. You know?
It's worth pointing out that yes, that exact moment, that's what got him arrested. But what got him sent to jail was the fact that he was on a suspended sentence for doing exactly the damn same thing last year.
Yeah, exactly. And was told not to do it again, right? Like,
yeah, that was part of the suspended sentence. Yeah. Like, don't get in trouble again. That's why he went to jail. Because if this had been a first offence, then he wouldn't have gone to jail.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's been convicted of, is, from what I understand, is a breach of your suspended sentence and the contempt of court.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the breach of the suspended sentence was obviously from last year. The contempt of court was for this case that is ongoing. And it was erroneously reported from many sources that this case was it was over and it was just sentencing today or something. Well, that was completely untrue. It's still got weeks to go yet. So
and they take contempt of court very seriously. Like, I have a friend who was just a witness, and she went to prison because she didn't stand on the witness stand after being called by the court. So they will send you to prison for that. Like, even if you haven't actually committed any crime previously.
As a British person, you should really know this, especially in a position like Tommy Robinson's.
It's funny because I hear a lot of Americans talking about this, and it's like we should understand that concept, since we have, well, for us, we call it probation, not suspended sentence, but it's basically the same thing. The second you break your suspension, your probation, you go straight to jail. Like, you know, there's no trial, you go straight to jail. The trial already happened. You know?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened in this case. Well, no, it's roughly what happened. I still don't really quite understand how an extra 10 months got added onto his sentence.
Yeah, that's the part where it's off, where I'm like, well, this is weird, you know, like they definitely shouldn't be 13 months.
I'm very confident that will get appealed.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'm gonna.
I think that I was just gonna say, I think the 10 months might have been for the contempt of court this time.
Yeah, it was, but that seems a bit bloody excessive to me.
I don't know if it is.
Really?
I'm not sure. Yeah, because 10 months is, you won't serve all of that, and they know that. So.
Yeah.
Well, say he's doing 13 months, though. That means he'll serve 6.5 months. Which.
Yeah, you never really serve your full sentence. It's always cut down, especially good behavior and all that stuff.
Yeah, assuming he does behave, of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But like you said, you know, this happened really quick, so he's gonna get a trial and stuff, and they're gonna check it, and you know, and then he'll appeal the 13 months, and he'll probably get that cut down to 3, back to 3.
Well, his trial was on Friday, apparently, according to.
It probably wasn't the full trial. It was probably just to give him a sentencing.
I'm guessing it was a hearing, to do sentencing for the probation violation and contempt of court, and boom, you're in jail.
Yeah, but then he's gonna have to do an appeal trial to try to get to get his actual sentence or get it knocked down, and then he's gonna have to do a trial for this second time that he broke this. You know, that he broke the media ban. You know, so he's going to be going to court
He will
for
be
a while.
able to appeal the first one. I don't think he will be able to appeal.
No,
he's already found guilty of the.
He's been convicted of that one, but the additional 10 months, I'm fairly confident he can and will appeal.
Yeah, he's gonna have to appeal that sentence because that is ridiculous. That's way too much.
I think so.
But like you said, they probably knew he would appeal, and they're probably giving the maximum sentence just to keep him in there until the appeal can go through. You know, as opposed to maybe, I don't know how you guys do it, but maybe you could post bail or something and get out earlier. Or
I honestly don't know how it works either. But I'm guessing, regardless of if he posts bail or whatever, however that works. I'm guessing he still has to serve the 3 months of the suspended sentence.
Yeah, most likely.
Because he's been convicted of that.
Yeah, that's how it happens here too. Yeah, if you get caught violating probation, you go to jail for the original sentence. And you're not going to get back out. All right, let me continue.
Let's talk about this because there are some people who are saying, this was legitimate. Please be aware that there isn't a political conspiracy regarding Tommy's arrest. This is a tweet that I'm just reading from someone in the UK. He was imprisoned for contempt of court and for reporting on a case with reporting restrictions. Right. So within an hour, someone gets sent to jail for 13 months just because a case had reporting restrictions. And
that's not within an hour. Or it was within a few hours, but whatever. Within a few hours, somebody gets sent directly to jail for breaching the terms of the suspended sentence. Yes, that is how it works, Lauren.
I want to be clear, just to not
moaning about the.
I want to be clear, just to not make her look
like seriously.
I don't want to make her look extra stupid, but she does have corrections here where she corrects herself because she did not know about the suspended sentence in the first place. But she does say it here, so she understands later on. I guess she didn't realize it at first. She didn't know about that part when she made this.
Sorry, what did she say down there, Alfie?
Here, I'll read it.
She just mentions the suspended sentence, but the point is that what she's talking about is exactly the same talking points that I see being repeated over and over again.
Even the people who know that he had a suspended sentence will be, but they convict him, and I'm like, that's what happens here too. If you get probation here and you get busted, you're going right to jail. They're not giving you a second.
Sorry, read that off,
Tommy had a suspended sentence from a while ago for reporting on grooming gangs. He was essentially being watched to see if he messed up again by reporting on these cases. That's usually what happens.
I was going to say, of course he was.
When he got arrested, it was because he was live streaming about another grooming gang case. However, my statement about him seemingly being within his rights, just reading things that were already reported, still stands now. But I don't know if she knows the information that I read.
Seemingly. No, he wasn't seemingly within his rights. He was seemingly in breach of the ongoing court case and the restrictions around it. That's what it seems like to me.
And I haven't really looked into what the original, what the terms of the suspended sentence was. They might have even just told him, don't show up at courts and record again. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be something really nebulous.
I think with a suspended sentence like that, as far as I'm aware, somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but basically, if you fuck up and are arrested again for any reason, that's a breach of of the conditions. Any reason. It could be speeding in his car.
But say I don't know how it works in England, that's what I'm saying, but say he wasn't breaking any crime and they did arrest him, he was within his rights, but I don't know maybe in the original trial, part of him getting a suspended sentence was an agreement to not do things like this. You know what I'm saying? Then it would be a breach of the suspended sentence.
Possibly, I don't know.
Even if it's not normally a crime for someone to do this, maybe that was part of
it is normally a crime for somebody to do this. That's the thing.
Oh yeah, if there's a media ban, right? You can't.
Yeah, he can't do it. He can't have it both ways. He can't say he's a reporter and then say he isn't when it's convenient for him, especially when he's fucking live streaming the beginning of a court case. No.
Let me read the rest of it. As for the media ban that existed on the original sentence and is just being enforced again, what this means is, yes, you can talk about it as an everyday citizen. Yeah, we know how this works. Like journalists who were in court today, you would not be able to publish it without facing legal trouble. So that leaves us with a lot of speculation. And it's also why I have to make these corrections, because I'm getting all my information secondhand and not from the courts.
What's annoying about that is you said that leaves us to a lot of speculation. It's like, well, but you're admitting then that it's speculation and your outrage is completely based on no facts.
Exactly.
Yeah. Your speculation seems one-sided. You're not being an unbiased speculation. You're doing biased speculation. But that's Lauren Southern, right? She's kind of a sensationalist.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
As with Tommy Robinson too. I like Tommy Robinson. I know a lot of the second I say this, people get all angry and stuff like, Tommy Robinson, and they want to always see the good in him. But he is a sensationalist. He does.
Me and Jay were having a very similar conversation about that. It's like I think I and Jay broadly support Tommy Robinson, certainly in his anti-Islam work in the UK. I am a supporter of Tommy Robinson in that regard. But in this case, he fucked up. He got it wrong. And sorry, but he deserves to go to jail for it, in my view.
And it's true. Like I said, he does have sensationalist tactics. Sometimes he does things that he doesn't need to do. Just be honest. You know, you don't need to twist truths or make some shit up to bust people.
The cynical part of me does wonder if this is a PR stunt on his part, to be honest.
I was thinking that too. Like, did he do it on purpose? You know, did he know that he was... I didn't see the live stream too, but that's another thing I heard. I heard on the live stream that he was saying, I'm going to get in trouble for this, or I'm going to get arrested, you know. But I don't know if that's true. That might have been after the cops showed up, or maybe he saw the cops coming and he said, oh, I'm going to get in trouble for this because he saw the cops coming. So I don't know the context, because I just read that, you know, people posting stuff.
Well, even if it was when he saw the cops coming, that doesn't let you off.
No, it doesn't let you off. But I'm saying maybe he was doing it on purpose, like saying, that might be a clue that he might have been doing it on purpose, knowing that he's going to get busted while doing it. But if the cops were coming, then he might have been like, oh, shit, cops are coming this way. Oh, then maybe that's why he said that live, you know? So I don't know. That's all speculation as well. Who knows? But yeah, in the end, these people tend to be sensationalists, which kind of puts them in the same tactics as the opposing side, which is like the SJWs and shit, who sensationalize things as well. I just tend to agree with these people more.
He also, what he was reading out about this case, it was already information from the Huddersfield Examiner, that was the biggest print newspaper in the area. It was already publicly available stuff, and no one at the Huddersfield Examiner was sent to prison for 13 months for talking about this case. This is clearly a political intimidation tactic.
Yeah, please. Right there, she was saying how everything he said was okay because it was published by another media source, which she has a point, but I don't think it was what he was saying. I think it was about where he was, like, you know? So she's making it like it's just because he talked about the case. I don't actually think that is the case. I think it's because he was filming outside of a court.
And it's effectively broadcasting it as well, which... I mean, I think we've had this discussion before. I mean, while you do see like the BBC and other, you know, news media showing, you know, outside of the, you know, the court as people are arriving or whatever, you always see them stood at a distance, like on the other side of the road or something. You never ever see them like on the steps of the courthouse like he was.
Yeah,
it's just done, and the reason why you don't, because they know that they will get arrested.
Yeah, if it's a media ban and you're filming people as they're going into the court, even by accident, you might break the law, you know, because you don't know which one of them are associated with the court trial. You don't know which ones are not supposed to be seen. Obviously, if it's a Muslim gang rape or child rape thing, and you see Muslims walking into the court, you know, don't film them.
And I know it sounds trite, but unfortunately, ignorance of the law is no excuse for breaking it.
Oh no, of course not. Yeah. If you didn't know you're not supposed to cross the street at a crosswalk, and you know, outside of a crosswalk, and they want to give you a jaywalk and take it, you're gonna have to take it, you know, whether you knew it or not.
There's also a lot of people right now getting mad about the fact that the laws are stupid, and it's like, okay, that's an entirely different discussion. The laws are obviously the laws right now, and they have to be followed. So the fact that you think it's stupid or that any of us think it's stupid doesn't matter. The law is the law.
Yeah, and for Americans, they don't. England doesn't have like a freedom of the press like we do. It's not in their. It's not in a constitution. It's not like solidified, so they can have media bans and stuff like that. We don't have that here unless it's something of like national security, you know. But we don't. You know, obviously we don't have that here. We have freedom of the press. And you guys do juries differently, right? Like you have that because your jurors are allowed to.
Yeah, I would buy. In general, our jurors are basically allowed to carry on their lives as normal, but they turn up at court to be on the jury, like a job kind of thing. Whereas I believe in the States, what they do is they get the jury and they put them in a hotel and effectively isolate them from the
which
press.
Sucks. That's why everybody hates doing jury duty. If for like small crimes and stuff like that, they don't do that. But you know, for things of like huge nature where it's going to be all over the news and stuff, they'll lock you up in a room basically.
Yes,
You get a hotel room and you can't leave.
They don't do that here, as far as I know.
So yeah, so it's a very different thing, and that's why a lot of Americans are like talking about this. They might not understand that you guys have a different way of doing it than we do. You know,
people pretending it's not. People pretending individuals just normally get taken to court and sent to jail for 13 months within an hour
when they're in probation. Yeah.
Nonsensical. The British government want to crack down on any right-wing dissidents, and quite frankly, the scariest part of this, I had to calm down before doing this live stream because
see, this is the problem of this, which goes back to the SJW thing, is jumping to conclusions. They don't wait to hear the information and they jump to conclusions.
Well,
it's like
and more to the
somebody
point,
gets shot and they jump to the conclusion of like, oh, you know, police brutality and stuff like that, and they don't wait for to hear what actually happened to know.
They come at the conversation as well from a sort of a place of emotion, not from, you know, that they're not talking about the facts. They're talking about how they feel. That's what she's doing right now, or that's what she's about to do.
Yeah, she's already putting blame on the British government and putting what do you call it, like motive onto it. And they're like, oh, they're doing this because they want to shut him down and they don't want to hear from right wingers. And it's like, that might not have anything to do with it. Why don't you wait to hear the information to find out instead of looking stupid like you end up doing, having to make corrections in your description.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I mean, at least she did make those corrections. But even in the corrections, she still seemed kind of dumb. All right, we'll go.
I actually started crying when I heard that Tommy got sent to jail because this is a death sentence.
Again,
I don't think people realize, they know for a fact the British government that sent him to prison today, we're never going to hear from him for the next year because he's had everything taken away, cell phones, all of that, can't talk to us. They know for a fact he's most likely going to die in prison.
Just stop. What?
Yeah, please.
What?
Sorry.
They
know for a fact.
No, right. That is the most retarded thing that I've ever heard in my life. They know for a fact that he's going to die in jail.
No, wait. The funny thing is the oxymoron within the sentence is she's saying we know for a fact he's most likely going to die.
Oh, did she say? Is that what she said?
It's not really a fact. It's most likely. It's not totally sure yet.
And it isn't most likely, Lauren dear.
No.
Dude, it's the fact that most likely anything can happen anytime, any place. And like people are freaking out that he's gonna die, right? But it's like, do you understand the line of work he's in and the lifestyle he lives? Like that is he's high risk towards that anyway.
I don't like this argument for one simple reason. Okay, so somebody might die if you send them to prison. So what do you do about that? Not send them to prison? If they broke the law, I mean, they broke the law. You gotta go somewhere.
That does seem to be what she's advocating for.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, you know, he broke the law, but he might die in prison, so they should let him go. Like that doesn't make any sense. You know? That's why I don't like when people say that.
Muslims are brutally beaten and murdered in prison. Like,
I was arguing.
Do you know that?
What's funny is Devin put out that video about Aimee talking of their DMs and stuff. And in the comment section, people were asking him to not make videos like that and to make a video on Tommy Robinson instead for some reason. And I'm like, that's retarded. But I started arguing with a guy, and that was one of his talking points too. Well, they're giving him a death sentence and to die in jail and this and that. And I'm like, yeah, but he broke the law. So what are you proposing, that we just let people go when they violate probation? Then we're just gonna have to let everybody go when they violate probation, you know? Then what's the point of probation? Does it make any sense?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, they want to have a get out of jail free card of, I'll die in jail.
Yeah, exactly.
So I can't go to jail.
This is what annoys me. I do like Tommy Robinson, but to all of these people, he's some sort of like paragon of virtue or something. It's like
he can do no wrong, right?
Yeah, it's very weird.
Mm-hmm.
He is a savior.
I say the same thing too. I like Tommy Robinson too. I like what he does, but like I said, there are times where he's over the top, and it's like, dude, you gotta.
He definitely plays up to the camera, as it were. He wants a reaction out of people,
and he does things that'll get him in trouble. He does things that'll get him in trouble when he doesn't need to. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for him to do that, but it's like he just wants to make sure. I guess it's the point of like spreading it. Like he wants to make sure it's in the spotlight so people hear about it. But it's like, you know, you don't need to do that.
What I find a bit annoying is it was quite clearly avoidable him getting arrested that day.
All he had to do is face the camera in a different direction. Really, it seems like. If what I'm saying is true, that it was for him filming people going into the courthouse. I don't know if that's true. So I can't really fully say that. If it is for reporting on things that were already reported, then it is kind of fucked up that they're just taking him in. They should take in all the other people who reported on it too. But
I'd like to see where she's getting that information from.
Yeah, we need to know more information because we don't have all the information. We do have some more now because of the media ban's been lifted, but we still don't have all the information. But I guess that's all the stuff that's going to have to be talked about in court when he has a trial about this.
With the left-wing orthodoxy, I want to, of course, a lot of you know that a lot of the prison system in the UK, it is a high Muslim population in there, and they hate Tommy Robinson.
In every prison in the UK is a high Muslim.
One prison for the UK, Laura.
I know where Tommy Robinson is. I'm not going to say for the purpose of this video, but I know he's not being held in a place with a high Muslim population at all.
Actually, it's a very low Muslim population.
Very low.
But it's just ridiculous. It's a country. We understand it's the entire country. You think that every single prison in the United Kingdom is filled to the brim with Muslims? Like, like how they say in the United States that there's a high black population in prisons, but there are prisons in the United States that have very little amounts of black people. There's whole states that have very little amounts of black people. So I'm sure you have whole areas in England that have very little Muslims. So.
Yeah, Wales.
Well, like where I live, for instance.
Yeah, like where you live. There you go.
People want him dead. He gets death threats all the time. He got beat up in prison all the time when he was in there before. And I just want to, if you don't know about this case,
sorry, I have to stop it. When it comes to what happened previously, when it comes previously with what's happened with Tommy in prison, that's just they have terrible that they happen. But they are things that we need to highlight with the state separately to this whole thing, because that's a failure of the state to look after prisoners properly.
Yeah.
End up.
Yeah, Again, because he gets beat up in jail, we can't send him to jail now, and he gets away with everything. So we can't do that.
That shouldn't be how that works.
And to be honest with you, getting beat up in jail is just a normal thing in jail. It doesn't matter what.
I mean,
do.
and have you seen how Tommy
in jail
Robinson?
Here, people get beat up all the time.
Have you seen how he acts? I mean, he's a gobshite. Of course, he's going to get beaten up.
He's like a football hoodlum, right? Like that's how he acts, right?
Had thrown a bacon sandwich outside a mosque, and he was put in prison. And throughout his 12-month sentence, they found him dead. He had been murdered in prison.
Stop. That is absolutely untrue. That's fake news. He died of a drug overdose. He took too many drugs. That's why he was dead. He was not murdered. That's ridiculous.
Which again is another failure of the prison system, right? To keep
yes.
Yep, exactly.
But
and there is other questions over that Kevin case, which is, okay, why did the state fail to put a man who was in hospital and then put him back in a cell without observation for 48 hours after they had him back in the prison? But that, again, is completely separate and another discussion, not relevant to Tommy Robinson and this particular
Nothing
incident.
to do with Tommy.
Nothing to do
Is there
with
really that much disinformation out there about it, or is she just sensationalizing?
No,
I feel there's a lot of fake news on this.
I've heard the story that she's parroting now, but I also know that it isn't true.
It's not true. Well, I mean, she worked for what was that company called? Red Media or something?
No.
Red Letter Media?
Rebel.
No. Red Letter Media is a
movie review. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
But didn't they have a thing where they were posting a lot of fake information too?
Probably. I honestly don't know, to be honest.
I think they
haven't seen it.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't want to.
It was TYT.
I don't want to start.
It might not be false information, but it's presented in a way that is incorrect.
Yeah, sensationalized, basically.
Yeah.
Although that she just said was just plain wrong. I don't know.
Yeah,
don't know where she's getting her facts
She's
from.
kind of trying to make it seem like he was just murdered by Muslims and for doing what he did, and it's really a drug overdose that he died from. So. All right.
Just a conspiracy. I'm not making something up when I say Tommy will likely
I'm not making something up. Will likely die
because of this.
Yeah, you are.
In fact, it was something that I'm getting this secondhand once again from someone who was there.
You shouldn't be talking like this.
It was acknowledged in the courtroom today. It was brought up that if Tommy gets sent to jail, they are going to kill him in there.
Not an argument.
Apparently, I'm taking it secondhand. Unfortunately, there's no freedom of press on this issue. But secondhand, apparently, the judge said he knew what he was getting himself into.
But he does.
Yeah,
that seems fair to me.
I have to agree with that judge. He knew what he was getting into.
I do.
Yeah, I do too.
At this point, she didn't know about the suspended sentence. But yeah, with the suspended sentence, especially, he knew who he was getting into. Because if you break that, you know you're going straight to jail. You know. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Die. The UK, they know what they are doing. This is a complete and utter crackdown on any right-wing dissidents. And the people who are pretending that this is anything other than political intimidation, it's just insane. They've obviously been looking for ages, any sort of loophole, anything.
She's the one doing the pretending, right? She's pretending that it is what she's saying.
I think she said it's like a crackdown on right-wing dissidents. I think me and Jay have had this conversation as well. It's like Tommy Robinson, while undoubtedly being right-wing, is on the issue of Islam, he isn't particularly right wing. I hold the same beliefs as him, and you've seen my political compass test. Yeah. I'm as left as the fucking come.
Yes. Not every issue is a political one. Sometimes you just break the law and you get in shit for it, and that's all it is. Why does it need to be turned political? That's what I don't get.
I mean, this happens with Devin all the time, right? Where he loses right wing fans.
Yeah,
has like one or two things that go with right wing politics, but everything else is left wing of his. So people get, they like him for his right wing ideas, but not for his left.
Right.
But in the end, I wouldn't call them right or left wing. Yeah, he sees a problem and he says, "Well, this is a problem." Has nothing to do with right or left. But yeah, she's basically calling him right wing because of one idea he has, basically, that he fights for.
To get Tommy on, even his original sentence was ridiculous financial stuff that most people would not get caught for. Half the damn governments in the West are taking part in tax evasion and
again irrelevant, separate issue.
They are getting arrested because they have the right opinions. That is overlooked because they have the right opinions. Look at someone like Hillary Clinton, who's running for the president of the United States, who no one cares about, and she gets away with all of her crimes because that are much bigger crimes.
Why is she talking about Hillary Clinton?
I don't know.
This just got weird. That can I just point out right now? It's annoying me. That white spot on the end of her nose is just driving me insane.
Contouring, gentlemen. That's how you like take attention from a certain place and you brighten it up. Makes it look pointy.
It looks like she was drinking like a cappuccino before this, and the phone got stuck on her
nose. Then public disturbance like Tommy, or reporting on something that we were supposed to be hush-hush about, she gets away with all of her stuff because she has the right opinions. Of course, these are different governments, but my point stands that...
No, it doesn't.
They have obviously
different governments, so that was useless.
The police are always following him, they're always watching him. They're detaining people like Brittany Pettibone or
if this was like the Count Dackula case, then she might have a point, but Tommy isn't getting sent away for his political views or anything like political that he said. Like, this is a breach of court, like
it's a contempt.
It's contempt of court. That's what it is.
Yeah, he's reporting on things that have a media ban on it.
This has literally nothing to do with his politics. Nothing. Like, how is she turning this into this? Like, I don't even see how she's made those connections.
I mean, even if it did, he's still fucked up. Like, there's nothing you can do about it.
The thing is, to me, she seems like she has an agenda that she's trying to push.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it seems like to me.
But it doesn't make any sense.
It's the agenda she's been pushing since she was banned from England.
And do you not think she seems like a really spaggy sort of 16-year-old or something? It's very weird.
Can I ask, is she truly banned from the UK, or is she just denied entry?
I think she's banned for life.
Oh shit, I didn't know that. But yeah, that's not surprising because the UK does that shit forever. They got a long list of people banned for life from the UK, so not surprised. But yeah, that's the thing is, a lot of people are acting surprised at the things going on in England, but England's had a long history of this. It's not surprising.
I don't think she realizes that entry is a privilege, not a right.
Yeah. I think
it's a privilege.
It's funny because she does realize that. But
I was going to say that's a very ironic thing that she doesn't realize that.
Yeah, it's very ironic.
Martin Sellner, who want to go and meet with him and talk with him, they're banning people from the country who are friends with him. This was obviously.
What does that have to do with it?
And
they're not banning them just for being
Tommy dies in jail. I don't know. I'm trying to understand how to feel about this. I'm trying to not be crazy and radical about it. I'm trying to
except you are.
Yeah, but you're not.
That's exactly what you're being.
You are not succeeding.
I was just in Austria with my friend Brittany Pettibone and Martin Sellner, and my friend Martin was taken away by the secret police while we were just sitting in a cafe. And the secret police came out and took all our stuff, searched the car, and he was taken into questioning and has been going through a crazy legal case.
That kind of explains why he wasn't allowed in the country, doesn't it, though? I mean, if the Austrian government is, you know, concerned about him, then that actually does explain why the English government decided not to allow him in. Because I didn't know they could do that to EU citizens, but apparently they can.
Yeah, I guess so. But it's kind of funny. Again, it leads back to her in Italy as well. Like, if you see somebody's doing some crazy shit in other countries near you, you're going to be like, I don't know. This chick seems to travel to countries and do crazy shit. So I don't know why. Why would we let her in our country then?
Arrested. My friends are essentially being potentially sentenced to death in the UK for their political opinions and for being anti-Islam. And
Islam.
Point where what am I supposed to do? What can I do? What kind of clown hellish world am I living in?
Oh my god.
Wow.
The one that's in your brain, stupid.
Look at her face right there.
Someone with that much face paint
I just
on
want to
saying that
Photoshop
is
a dick into
ridiculous.
that.
Yeah. What kind of hellish, clownish, hellish world you living in where people go to jail for breaking suspended sentences?
For breaking established laws. It's not like this is a new thing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm really shocked at how surprised people are at this when I'm like, I mean, even as a kid, I knew about how England's laws were in some ways because of, you know, in terms of like banning people and censorship, because like Margaret Thatcher era when I was growing up, that shit was happening like crazy.
But that's what I mean. To me, she's acting like a hysterical little girl.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just no need.
And I can't like not believe that she doesn't know this. She has to know what English laws are. Like, she talks to a lot of people from England, you know, she travels around. She has to know.
I think you're giving her too much credit, but yeah, you might be right.
Yeah, but just on the case that she speaks to a lot of people, she has, you know, she's involves herself in this kind of stuff that has to do with laws and shit like that. So it's really strange to me that she wouldn't know this. Like,
I never thought that it would get to this point. I never thought it would get to the point where I'm being banned from countries where my friends are being imprisoned for their opinion.
The fuck, you were shooting flares at people in Italy. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? You think you would get banned from a country?
Yeah. Sorry, Lauren Southern isn't allowed in this country. I don't care.
No, yeah, a lot of people were freaking out about that, and I was just like, I really don't care. Like, I don't understand why people care so much. It's, you know, she is a provocateur. That's what she does, right? Like,
and
like, get banned for shit like that.
And like Tommy Robinson, all she's doing is enjoying the fruits of her labor, and she doesn't like it. Yeah, she doesn't like it. But then, guess what? If you go out and you do crazy shit for maybe even if it's for a good cause to you, it's, you know, you're gonna face some repercussions from that. Mm-hmm.
Where do we go from here? It seems like
it's just part of what
is.
It's part of what comes with
it
activism.
Seems like they're a damn illegitimate government that don't.
Oh my god!
They didn't vote to get rid of their free speech. In fact, they
Stop.
We
didn't vote to get rid of our free speech. We never had free speech. That's never been a thing here. What the fuck is she talking about?
That's another thing to understand.
It's not a thing in Canada either. What the fuck is she talking about?
Which is funny because she's from Canada and they basically have the same type of freedom of speech you guys have, where it's just like a regular law. It's not a constitutional right, you know.
I think, doesn't only the USA? I think only the USA has constitutional free speech.
Yeah, can we just talk about this shit? How like people,
but I'm not sure.
Like people who are discussing this are like, this isn't constitutional. Okay, guys. Well, the American Constitution is only applicable to America. Just FYI, it doesn't apply to the UK.
Yeah, I have seen at least one tweet that said that this is unconstitutional, and I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
It's within our constitution, motherfucker.
Yeah, it's constitutional to you guys.
Americans think that like their laws and regulations apply outward because they have like they just have this Americentric view on the world where everything has to be viewed through the lens of what is the law in America, and it's really annoying. And it just makes you look dumb and a bit ignorant.
It's quite a common thing that I've seen from American people that they do tend to believe that their their laws, their structure of government is the superior one.
It's the standard or something for the world.
And it isn't. It isn't.
No, it's not.
I'm not saying it's not, but it isn't necessarily superior to anything.
Nah, we got our better things in some aspects, and we got our worse things in some aspects. So just like every country, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like just like England has better laws in some ways and worse laws in other ways. It's all the same.
Like better gun laws, for instance.
Yeah. Who was it that was talking? Who was it that we were talking to yesterday? And I kind of agreed with them on how you do your politics. How it's like you guys have multiple parties representing, and then you have like the main party, and then you have the opposing party. And I think that's a good way to do stuff. And we just have this binary fucking system that it's just this guy or that guy.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah, our politicians are forced to fight with each other as well, which is really fun in Parliament time.
I think that's better. Yeah, and I think, well, not just for the fun, but I think it's better because it actually forces politicians to do things because they're getting questioned on what they're doing and forces them to think about.
Don't knock the fun aspect of it because that does get people engaged. It does.
Yeah, it does get people engaged too. It's true. Most Americans are not interested in politics. It's just the way it is. Most people don't watch the elections. They don't watch anything to do with politics.
American politics is very dull, isn't it?
Yeah, and on top of that, you guys air your political things like once a week, right, or something like that.
Yeah, Prime Minister's questions and stuff.
Yeah. We don't have that. We don't have that at all. We barely get addressed by the government.
Isn't there a channel, Parliament TV? Doesn't that just show all of what goes on in Parliament? Or most of it?
It's on the BBC Parliament. You've got that, or you can go to the Parliament website and watch it all through there as well. That's how I watch it. It's through the Parliament website.
That's a very different aspect that you guys have that I find to be better. And but then you guys don't have like the same constitutional rights we do, which in some cases is better for us. Like the freedom of press thing. You guys wouldn't have media bans like this if you guys had that.
Or
some media
to get out of the European Union. They want away
what'd
from
you say?
all these crazy socialist policies. They want away from all of this open borders nonsense. They want away from the crazy progressive SJW hellhole that the rest of Western.
So let me ask you guys a question, especially the British people. Is this true? Do the most people in the UK want this, or do you think it's like split in half? Or
want what?
What she was saying the people of the UK want this to get rid of this open border nonsense and all that stuff, like the stuff that they basically fight for.
So...
Yeah. You did vote.
Brexit wasn't about borders,
but maybe it wasn't about borders. Yeah, I thought it was more about
but regardless, we've drifted away from the fucking subject of Tommy Robinson getting arrested for a specific thing, which has got nothing whatsoever to do with open borders.
But I'm just saying for her in general, because she's talking as if this is what the UK wants unanimously, kind of it sounds like, or at least the vast majority. And I would think it's probably half and half.
I was just going to say it's more like it's split down the middle, I would think.
Yeah, even the Brexit vote won, but it didn't win by like a landslide or anything, right? It was pretty close. So I would say, and then you got to equate the people who didn't even bother voting for the referendum. So then you don't even know. Most likely it's split.
Europe is becoming, and the government doesn't seem to care. They just want to silence all dissidents. They want to silence anyone that is actually trying to hold them to their promises and to the way that the people want to go. You guys in the UK, you didn't vote for this insane mass immigration of Islam. You never voted for that. That was completely illegitimate. The importation.
Can I just explain? Just for Lauren Southern's benefit, no, we didn't vote for this mass immigration of Islam or whatever the fuck she said. But that isn't the way that governments work.
No government.
You vote for the government, and you vote for the government to make these decisions on your behalf.
Yeah.
Now, so we don't vote for every single tiny little thing our government does. And it's the same in Canada, and it's the same in America, and it's the same everywhere in the fucking world. Otherwise, nothing would get done.
And that's what drives me nuts about her, because I feel like she should know these things, but she talks as if she doesn't know shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's so weird to me.
She seems like a little child.
It's like someone only watches soap operas.
Yeah.
She has no clue.
Again, she's from Canada. In Canada, you don't vote for everything. And Canada's kind of like America, I think, in that aspect, where you vote for the politician to represent you and then come up with policies and stuff like that.
That in a nutshell, that tends to be how governments work.
Yeah, every democratic government basically works that way. You vote for your leader, and then your leader makes the decisions and policies for you. So weird. And that breaks down from the top level to the lower, split into the lower levels of county and
in
state
part
and
means
city.
You did vote for it.
Yeah, so I guess you were right. I guess you're right. In part, you did vote for it then.
Yeah.
Speech taken away. You didn't vote to
get your
live
free
in this
speech
insane
taken away.
world where you get arrested for butter knives and killed in jail for throwing bacon at mosques. At this point, what are the British citizens supposed to do? They are trying to have their voices heard. They are trying to speak up about their government's literal oppression of them. What a 1984 world we live in, when you can't even speak up about it. What are you supposed to do? And this is the scary part. This is the really...
I do understand her frustration, but she, like I said, she makes it seem like it's everyone, and and the reason these things happen and the reason it's difficult to change these things is because of a split. The same thing happens in the US. The reason it's so hard for us to pass laws or make any changes is because we're so polarized as a nation, you know. You got like half the people, you got like 33% of the people want one thing, 33% of the people want another thing completely, and the other 33% don't even give a shit, you know, and they just want to go about their life.
She's actually wrong what she said there.
Yeah, she's actually wrong. But I mean, I understand. Yeah. I'm just saying I understand the frustration from somebody who wants change and isn't getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that's what she comes across like a child, because yes, these things sort of notionally are quite frustrating, but the only way that you effect change is by working within the laws that exist.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I understand the frustration, but she's going about it all wrong, and she's getting even more frustrated from going about it wrong and not realizing she's going about it wrong. You know?
I never think it's good to start off with deceptive tactics. It just makes the whole problem even a bigger mess. Like any problem, never mind this in particular.
Yeah.
But this is how you gain the trust of people, and it's unfortunate because once you've your personality plus the bullshit has gained the trust of people, they tend to kind of stick around anyway because there's something about you they like. So that kind of muddies the water a bit too when it comes to being honest and truthful about things. And she's a girl, man. Girls say a lot of dumb shit, and you know, there's guys who will just.
And like I said, because she's speaking from emotion, it just shows that she either she's just not thinking and spewing shit out her mouth, or she just is extremely ignorant to the way the real world works.
I think it's more the second one. She's
it might be. It just seems like it, because the way she talks seems like, why isn't this changing? Everybody wants this, and it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. That's not how it is.
Scary part of it. I do not advocate political violence at all. I do not advocate anything like that. But when you don't even allow people to have a conversation, when you don't even allow people to speak about the problems that they're facing in their nation, that's when they feel they have nothing else they can do but lash out violently. That's what this causes. The UK needs to decide which way they are going to go. Are they going to?
I'm going to be honest. This is just a feeling I have right now with what she's just saying there. And I admit it's just a feeling, but it feels like that's the talk of revolution.
That's what these people want.
Almost sounds like she is advocating for violence.
Yeah. In the end, that's pretty much what all advocates want, right? They want a revolution. Oh shit, sorry. It seems like that's what she wants.
Arresting people for their opinions, silencing anyone that disagrees with them, shutting down anything that is slightly critical of this insane progressive agenda, and potentially have a crazy, horrific, violent future in either way because there'll be a revolt, or because they'll be taken over by a crazy, violent religion like radical Islam, or will they go the way of actually having reasoned debate and discussion, which created the Western world and the many things that are still great about the UK today?
But that's been happening.
Which way, UK? I don't know.
There has been discussion.
I'm sorry, but if your friend is sent to jail and could potentially die, I don't think it's too crazy to be upset about that. Terrible leg. I'm sorry about that.
Leg.
Again, she admits that she's talking about her feelings, not about
She's getting over emotional because she thinks Tommy's gonna die in jail, but she doesn't know that. You know what I'm saying? It's just she's making a guess.
It's a worst case scenario of anybody going into a jail.
Yeah, anybody can die in jail. That's true. It happens.
But yeah, just needed to kind of get all of that out of my system. Maybe I'll read some of the chat comments here. The Freakzoids have taken over. Yes, they have. I'm hoping that in some crazy twist of fate, Tommy somehow gets out and is able to get rid of this crazy 13-month sentence, but right now it looks like we are not going to be hearing from Tommy for over a year. It looks like we are going to be completely cut off from any news about him. People have even told me if they retweet me, they could be arrested just because
people have told her that, but is it true?
What?
But is it true?
It's ridiculous.
For retweets?
I don't think so.
Oh,
I'm just in complete awe of the whole situation. So we probably won't be hearing from Tommy for over a year. He wasn't really given an opportunity. He was taken straight there. It was like within an hour, and wasn't given an opportunity for legal representation to really fight back or
he already did that.
Have a chance to defend his position.
That was last year. You
silly cat. Representation. She is a liar.
Happened to them. It seems like they're grasping at straws to send anyone to jail or to intimidate the British public into silence. But I guess on a positive note, they can't shut us all up. I mean, I'm across the water. I'm already banned from their country. There's plenty of Brits watching this stream. I'll continue to speak up for you guys. The rest of the Western world is speaking up for the UK, and our eyes are on you. And they can't arrest every single person, especially worldwide when we've got the internet. The internet can be our revolutionary platform for free speech, hopefully.
And there's the revolution.
Pray for Tommy. Try to get the word out there what's happened to him, since clearly the UK government do not want people to see what is going on. And don't give up, people in the UK. There have been darker days upon Europe that...
Oh, there definitely have.
Well,
did it just stop?
Yeah, I don't know why it just stopped. But
it's almost over anyway, so I guess
yeah.
10 seconds left.
That might have been the stream stopping. Yeah, I mean, it's just ridiculous. You just, I mean, if you fast forward to today, you find out that apparently the British government are allowing people to talk about it today. You know, and it's like
the media ban's been ended.
It's like that ban was in place for a reason, and that reason it doesn't apply anymore. So they've lifted it. Well, actually, I believe that a conglomeration of media outlets made a complaint, and that got the ban lifted.
Yeah, that's what it was.
They challenged it in court, which is what happens in a democratic society.
I was going to say, so you know, it wasn't the only reason that there was a 3-day delay was because in the UK, anyway, I don't know about the rest of the world, but it was a public holiday, so that the courts that could have processed any sort of request to remove the ban were not open for an extra day. So
look at this guy.
Shit happens.
New Jersey media. More tranny singers will help.
Yeah, well, actually, I agree with that. I'm all up for trap singers. So also the BBC are reporting that the judge that it was because of the filming of the thing of him at the court building, and the judge told him.
That's such simple. Like we know you can't film courts.
Yeah, it makes sense. That's
well, like we do have that too, where you can't film inside courts. That's a little different, but we don't have like media bans. I think when we do that, I think only the media is allowed in there. But because I'm American, I was raised with like freedom of press and stuff like that. I don't agree with media bans, but I understand them. There is a purpose to them.
Protect people.
Yeah, it's a purpose. Not only to protect them, but it's also to protect
him because he was going to prison.
Yeah,
Maybe they didn't want all the prisoners knowing.
And the thing you've got to understand that a lot of people don't seem to be taking into account is that while we do have things like media bans allowed, that they work within the framework of all the other rules that we've got as well.
So
exactly. Like what we were discussing before, like in this country they don't isolate jurors in the same way. Well, that's kind of why. Because there's other mechanisms to prevent them from having their perception of the case sort of fucked with.
And that's why I understand it, because it also helps with the integrity of the trial. You know what I'm saying? You're breaking the integrity of the trial if everybody knows about it. You're spreading things out there that maybe are only supposed to be kept within the trial.
And it is a different system to the US, and it might not be as good. I really don't know how to quantify that, but it is the system that we've got, and everybody involved in that system should be aware of how it works.
Yeah, and if you break that, that's your own fault. You know what I'm saying? But is anything else?
Oh, yeah, that's all I got to say.
Anybody else got any 2 cents to throw in?
No, that's it.
No, Tommy's surely got a couple of bucks lying around. He'll put together a good legal team, and hopefully they can do an appeal.
He won't be in jail for 13 months. No way.
Oh, and she lied when she said he didn't have any legal representation. He did. Like, he wouldn't have gone into court on his own. That doesn't happen. Like, even if it was provided by the court at the time of the,
of the arraignment,
It was rushed. Like, he would.
It was rushed, yeah. Like, even if it was,
I do not believe her.
Even if it was within an hour, he was arraigned. He did see a judge and was given a sentence. So I don't know.
Yeah, but there's legal representation in the court ready for you.
Yeah, of course.
Well, I don't believe Tommy Robinson doesn't have a fucking lawyer on speed dial anyway. So.
Oh yeah, of course he does. And even his friends have it too. So if he gets arrested and can't make the call,
as he was getting arrested, he was like, "Can you get me a solicitor? Get me a solicitor."
Yeah. I saw that clip of that video where he was saying that. Get me a solicitor. I'm being arrested.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see what happens next there.
Yeah, I think it might be a little while. It might be soon. Who knows? But we'll find when there's more information. Maybe we'll make another video.
We'll
talk
do
about
another one.
Yeah, ATeam out.
ATeam.
ATeam out.
Bye.
Bye.